What are some of the key priorities and strategic goals that you're currently focused on at NYPA?
This one's really complex list of 3 things, okay? Safety, safety, safety.
Please elaborate.
Today's guest is Peter Kalaitzidis, Senior Robotics and UAS Program Manager at NYPA. He brings years of hands-on expertise in drone operations, safety, and data management, and he breaks down how robotics are transforming utility inspections.
How does NYPA manage that large amount of data generated by robotic inspection?
I'm quite privileged that Media Hub, or data management system, is up and running. What the data management really gives us on the back end is starting to classify our photos. Tubular structure, lattice structure, wooden structure, whatever it might be. That's the first steps in AI. That's what's needed for this industry.
Without making legal and ethics mad. So what's something that you believe is perhaps a little controversial or a little against the norm about the drone or robotic space, that something that isn't typically done but should be? Before we begin, do you want to know what separates struggling drone programs from those generating millions in ROI? Grab our free Enterprise Drone Program Maturity Assessment. It's a $2,500 value that reveals your maturity stage, your top 3 quick wins, and your full growth roadmap. And for advanced strategy, sign up for the paid pro version of the Drone Strategist newsletter on Substack. All links are in the description. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Do You Know Drones podcast. It's where we explore the latest trends, challenges, and innovations in the drone industry. I'm your host, Jason San Souci, and I'm thrilled to have Peter Kalaitzidis, Senior Robotics Program Manager and UAS Program Manager at NYPA, the New York Power Authority, joining us today. So for those that are new to the podcast, Do You Know Drones aims to uncover the real-world applications of drone technology and provide actionable insights for our listeners. We've had some fantastic guests in the past, including Nitin Gupta, Nate Ernst, Bobby Sakaki, and Caitlin Albertoli. And today we're diving into the world of utility drone operations with one of the leading experts in the field. Peter, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Boy, you're raising that bar right off the get-go, huh?
I appreciate that. I mean, why not be professional about it? It's good to reconnect with you. So for our listeners, Peter and I, we actually worked together when I was back at Cognizant. I focused on GIS and drone technology and data analysis. And Peter, I'm curious. I love people's stories. Can you share a little bit about your journey into the drone industry and what led you to NYPA?
I've been very privileged with my drone life. I've been in it for over a decade now. I was a dork growing up, and girls didn't find it cute or sexy. And I learned how to play the guitar, and I wound up in the military. Simple and sweet. But on one of my first deployments, one of my guys got an RC car, and it was electric, and I started making fun of him. And next thing I helped them build it, and then I watched it do 60 miles an hour with a NiCad, and I was like, ooh. And that started the journey. Retired in 2013, U.S. Air Force, got a few boo-boos, longer than I should have been in. But I've worked for quite a few companies, private, public, some big ones, DOW, and a variety of different sectors. I've been a pilot, I've been design, sales, success. I've done every aspect of this industry. But I noticed something at the tail end of COVID. It wasn't touching the right people and the right industry. And I came into the New York Power Authority with the mindset of making everyday employees our operators. Our oldest pilot, 70 years old, teach your grandfather how to use an iPad. See, rolled your eyes. Everyone rolls their eyes.
No thanks.
But these drone manufacturers are making really good systems that anyone can do it. And this is that thing of everyone's a data collector. It just matters what's the data you're gathering. And I've been privileged to be here at the Power Authority now for 4 years. And our program's growing rapidly.
I think that's awesome. So you hit on something that we're going to talk about next. The next question's on training. So you have a 70-year-old pilot. You have actually over 130 employees as drone pilots. So
146.
146 now. That's impressive. What are some of the key priorities and strategic goals that you're currently focused on at NYPA?
This one's really complex list of 3 things, okay? Safety, safety, safety.
Please elaborate.
I've had the privilege in the beginning to follow the linemen, okay? And watch how they do their day-to-day job. Setting up their fall gear, getting into their harnesses, hoisting on the way up, and climbing away. It always leaves me spellbound. But when you're climbing, trying to find a problem, your mind's racing everywhere. I need to check this, I need to check that, I need to check this, I need to check my harness, check here, check here, check here, check my harness. There's a lot of things going on. But before they climb, if they fly, do I have to climb? Don't I have to climb? Now, they're still going to have to climb. They're going to find problems. They're going to find broken objects. They're going to have to climb up there and do the repair. But the question is, how much time are they in that dangerous environment? How much time you're walking down in the penstocks or down the tunnels we have, respirator, 4-gas sensor, and you're looking for problems. If the robot goes first, takes a picture, shows you where you need to go, what you need to look at, what you need to do, you're more confident, you know where you're going, and you know what you need with you. So you're spending a limited amount of time in that environment, making you safer. The whole premise is risk the machine, not the person.
Is that trademark yet?
No, I should have.
Like $350. You could totally do it.
Could have. Not anymore.
Man, so I know, NYPA's invested a lot of money. Like I think it's over $37 million in its drone program through 2028.
Correct.
So tell me a little bit more, elaborate on how these funds are being allocated specifically to those 3 missions. But if I dive in a little deeper, asset monitoring, veg management, and emergency response.
Yeah. It's intertwined. Okay. When the lineman is flying to check the tower, he's capturing what does that asset look like today? What damage is on today? How did we maintain that asset? But what's in the foreground and in the background? Vegetation. What's the condition of the right-of-way? That one mission isn't just solving one problem. The goal is to have that one mission provide data for 9, 10 different things on the back end that people aren't thinking about. One of my favorite ones is Boston Dynamics, the dog that we use. One of the use cases is to chase away geese in the parking lot. It's a quite expensive tool to do that. But while that dog is walking that parking lot, what is it doing? It's modeling the parking lot. It's taking pictures of the concrete. It's monitoring how many spots and congestion. It's doing a variety of different things. Our use case is to go chase away the geese. The byproduct is everything else. That is what we're driving for. Now, how do we figure out how we break up the $37 million over through 2028? Real simple. Where does it have the most impact? Okay. Here at the Power Authority, as you know, I've been trying to build out a UTM for a really long time. Okay. And we're getting close with NRA. Okay. Having a unified vision of our operations. Where's the dog? Where's the drone? Where's your robotic boat? Your subs and this? Where are helicopters? Where are the airplanes? Where are the hobbyists flying and where are the linemen flying? Say you want a complete operational picture and only worry about things in the sky. Because if you're working on robots, and that's, we've been talking for a really long time. We've known each other a really long time. I don't like calling it a drone program. It's robots. We don't care what it is. The end deliverable is all the same.
Absolutely. No, that's 100%. Yeah. I mean, we have worked together for a while, and I know that one of the things that has been very interesting is that, so right now, NYPA is using Media Hub. So that was developed with Cognizant. It's a NYPA product to manage its data. Now, I remember that like data management, you just talked about a lot of data collection, data capture devices, all doing all different manners of things, feeding dozens of data pipelines. So how does NYPA manage that large amount of data generated by robotic inspections?
I'm quite privileged that Media Hub, our data management system, is up and running. You know, what that is, it's on the cloud. It's secured end-to-end encryption. Okay. Pilots still have to pull out the SD card, download it and then re-upload it into Media Hub, which is still a little bit of a pain point. But now, instead of having a hard drive with over 300,000 images, high resolution images, I have a cloud storage. So I don't bog down my computer. And now when I have to share it with someone, I just copy the URL and share it with them. I can annotate the photos. But what the data management really gives us on the back end is starting to classify our photos. Tubular structure, lattice structure, wooden structure, embankment, veg, whatever it might be. That's the first steps in AI. Like I told you in the beginning, open up your iPhone or your Google phone, go to the photos, and type in car, type in Batman, type in Spider-Man, see what populates. That's AI on your personal device. What a utility needs is cotter pen, castle nut, glass insulator. That's what's needed for this industry. And it didn't exist, and it still doesn't exist. Well, it does. It's called Media Hub.
That's fair. And I know that Media Hub is an amalgamation of efforts and plugins, and it's an impressive cloud-based solution for sure. I was really happy when I was working on it. I thought it was revolutionary in what the utility industry is doing. So you mentioned something, another one of your collaborators that I had the privilege of interviewing recently, Caitlin Albertoli. She's the CEO of Buzz Solutions. I interviewed her at the Commercial UAV Expo. So I know that one of the things that NYPA has integrated is Buzz AI-powered inspection. Can you tell us more about how those solutions and the ones that you are also developing internally are enhancing your asset management and inspection workflow?
We see this within any database. Tower 73/4. Okay. It was 73-4, space 4, /4, 04. What, people are typing little t, big T, whatever. Now those all become different assets. Bringing in our GIS data and then saying 300 feet around the structure, any photos taken by our SOPs, all those photos belong to that tower. AI can do that. What's the maximum asset number? There it is. What's in the photo? Tubular tower, cotter pin, insulator, conductor. Just start labeling all these things automatically. No one wants to upload, our biggest, I can't do that, but one of our comprehensive shot lists, 84 photos. No one wants to go through 84 photos of clicking what applies. Because what happens? I'm guilty of it. You become lazy. I did one picture, that's good enough. I did two, that's overachieving. Here's the problem. That's not good enough. But we're human, okay? Linemen want to climb. They want to do repairs. They don't want to be sitting behind a computer all day. Let's try to take away the annoying parts of your day-to-day and free you up to what you enjoy and why you do your job.
Absolutely. Look, I'm a huge proponent that these robotics are tools. They are tools that obviously enhance safety, that save money, save time, do the dull, dirty, dangerous stuff that really people don't really want to do, or at least we'll get a first look at it. So you, like you said at the beginning, that you can limit the amount of time that you're there on site, right? Because time is money. So we talked about time, we talked about money, we talked about safety. So what are some of the key like KPIs or metrics that you use to measure your program's success and the ROI of NYPA's robotic program?
ROI is important. It's really, really important to keep in mind. Okay. But you gotta understand, there is no media hub out there. You can't go and just buy this. A UTM like Enra Technologies that we're doing here doesn't exist. We got to build it. The waivers that we have, remote operations all across New York State, BVLOS all across New York State. There's a lot of innovation in the beginning. Okay. We're moving. So innovation's all the way on the right. ROI is all the way on the left. Okay. We're not quite dead center. We're still a little bit more on the innovation point right now. But with 108 and other rules, 2209 down the pipeline, NDAA 2025 coming in, less than a month and a half? These things need to come and drop. So how do we measure success? Everyday employees are flying. We have 23 use cases with positive numbers for buying equipment and using them on a variety of things, from construction management, construction monitoring, transmission towers, waterways. So we have some projects that are very successful and some that aren't. But the ones that we fail at, it's not a failure. Was it training limitations? Was it the hardware? Did the camera, why did it fail? And we have a whole database just of that alone. So a lot of experimenting. Does it work? Doesn't work. Right now, we're really focusing in right now on our PMs, preventative maintenance activities, and our corrective actions. Trying to focus in as daily, usual, business as usual type of use cases. And that's what we're at right now. I know it looks like our program is running, but it's the walk, crawl, run mentality. We are just starting to walk. Our shoes are tied tight. I have all the fundamental pieces laid down in 2 years flat, and we're about to start maybe getting into a trot. This is a long marathon. We just got an early start.
Absolutely. No, you're right. The thing that's really interesting to me is that I constantly always say that, like, the not just the use cases, but the capabilities, capacity, productivity, everything that robotics offer, reality capture offers to every industry, we're still at the very, very beginning.
My biggest success right now is Peter Woodward. When he was 68 years old, he was going to retire because he couldn't walk the transmission line. Peter, I'm going to retire. Why are you going to retire? I can't walk the line anymore. Come become a drone pilot. You're a fad. You're just a flash in the pan. I appreciate that. Thank you for being honest with me, sir. Become a drone pilot. Tell me what I'm doing wrong then. Last year, 309 miles of flight. He got an additional 2 years of work. He retired on his own terms, not because his body was failing and he wanted to go to the golden years. He hit the number he needed to hit, so he had to stop working, not because he couldn't do the job anymore. That is success in a nutshell. The utility industry's age is very much so very up there, okay? And we're about to see the mass retirement. If you can get an extra year or two out of your experts, saving that waypoint mission, so when the new hire comes in, this is how Peter Woodward's been doing it for the past 30 years, and guess what? You're going to do it the same exact way. You don't lose that expertise. That is success. Now, is it a quantifiable dollars and cents revenue driver? No. Is it a good human story? Yes. When we constantly hear how robots and AI are stealing jobs, and yet here I am, the nerd, showing that the robots letting them work longer is better.
And I would almost argue with that. We don't have to get into this too much, but I would argue it a little bit. Institutional knowledge from our experts is priceless. Like, it is almost impossible to take 30 years of institutional knowledge and share it to someone else. I remember I've had mentors, many mentors. I'm a huge, and so are you, believer in mentorship. I pick out mentors that I know that they've forgotten more about a topic than I will ever know. That is worth big ROI. Not just a warm, fuzzy one, but real money, real time. And that, so I thought, I'll push back a little bit on that one because, oh no, that is real ROI. That is a great human story, but it's also, that is real money. That is real time.
Yeah, but I can't quantify it, so it don't count.
We got to figure that out. Okay.
I'll get the whiteboard.
The golden question. Okay, now it's our signature question time. So I want to get a little controversial without making legal and ethics mad. I know you can do this. So what's something that you believe is perhaps a little controversial or a little against the norm about the drone or robotics space that you'd be willing to share? Something that isn't typically done, but should be.
A lot of people are trying to replace work. Okay. I am a firm believer in human in a loop. I am a firm believer in we need people operating these things. My time throughout startup, we used to joke how we wanted to build Skynet. Okay. That was the driver. And it was a joke. It isn't going to happen. I can't go out and buy AI tomorrow morning and just turn the button and then here's all your problems. It doesn't work that way. Okay? We need humans to help make this stuff better. We need them to drive it, to operate it. But as we do it, I can sit there and capture 14 million photos a year. And AI can reject a lot of photos because there's no defect. Who's reviewing rejected? You're going to use another AI model to review what the other AI model said that there was no problem with? Then who's reviewing that? Oh, you're just going to use another AI model again and again. So the feasibility of replacing work, no. What we'll be replacing is the mundane work. If you look at my schedule, you know how hard it was to get me on this thing. There are things that I could automate away. I would love to automate my job away. Imagine that. I got fired because I automated my job away. Anyone would hire me tomorrow morning. Reproduce it. I can't. I really try. I really, really do try. I can't. The human is the most important element. I've been doing this job for 4 years. I know what a lineman does. I can tell you definition what they do. Can I tell you what they do day to day? No. Can I tell you how many different things they actually do? No. I know enough that I don't know what the hell they do. And that's okay. INC, operations, general maintenance, electricians, mechanics. We have hundreds of employees of different jobs and descriptions. 30, 20, 15, 10, 6, 3 years of experience. I'm a guy in an office who has robots. I cannot automate this stuff away. What I can do is bring it to you to operate it. I can teach you how to use it. I can show you how to get your deliverable, but after that, I can't do anything else. That is the misconstruction. That's where people are making the mistake. Because the SMEs are the most important piece of anything we do.
Wow. I could just see that was a perfect little clip. Yeah, no, I 1,000% agree. Look, this is a tool that makes people's jobs better.
Safer.
Easier. All these things, right? So, wow, Peter, thank you. This has been just so insightful. I know your time is valuable. Thank you for sharing some time and your expertise and your experiences and your stories with us. I just really appreciate that. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for everyone listening to me. Sorry.
Yes, no, thank you, listeners. That Peter is an amazing person, and he understands what's happening in this industry. So I just really appreciate him having on the show to share his insights with everyone. And that's it. That's all the time we have for today's episode of Do You Know Drones? Join us next time as we continue to explore the exciting world of drones or robotics technology. Bye now.